Good afternoon.
Gino,
obviously there was oh, sorry.
I guess we're going to have the same question. Gino, just your initial reaction of, the team moving on from Chip Kelly and, that's two coordinators gone in the last 20 days.
Chip is a guy who, when I met Chip, I was in high school, like a 10th grader, I believe, and, I've always thought highly of Chip. I've always thought he's had a great football mind, and I thought, honestly, if we made more plays, if we'd executed better, I think things would be different. I really feel for Chip. I really do. I've developed a great relationship with him through the time of knowing him, and I always wish him the best, and I'll always believe in him. Like I said, I think he's a great football mind, and some things are out of my control, but the things that were, which was execution on the field, those are the things I wish I could have done better for him.
There was an incident after the game on Sunday. Is there anything that you wanted to say about that? Or
yeah, for sure. First of all, I would like to apologize, obviously, to the fans, to the fan base of Raider Nation. I made a poor judgment out of frustration, and that's not an excuse. I've got to be better than that, and I've got to hold myself to a higher standard. And in that moment, I didn't. I'm sincerely apologetic, and I'm very sorry for doing that. And I just want to make it known that those things will never happen for me again.
What changes are you looking for from the offense in these final weeks?
Yeah, scoring points. Scoring points, man. We got to score more points. We got to be more efficient in all areas. Passing game, running game, our third down, our red zone. The entire game has got to be better. And so, we want to just go out there and play clean football. Limit the mistakes and put points on the board. Man, we have to. We got to help our defense out. They've been playing tremendous games, and I feel like a lot of times we haven't held up our side of it. So we got to go out there and execute, and that's the main thing.
Do you have a history? Sorry about that.
Same question. Obviously, you have a history with Greg Olsen, dating back to Seattle. Can you just talk about some things that you kind of dealt with him there that really showed you how good of an offensive mind he could be?
Well, just getting to know Coach Ole, and, like I said, he's been a coordinator here previously. He's been in the league and been around the NFL for, longer than I've been living. And he's an outstanding coach. He knows the game. He knows what he's looking at. He understands how to call games. He was helping, with all the game plans and stuff. So he's right in the thick of it. And for him to now, be calling plays again for the Raiders, I don't know if this is second or third time, but, I know he's done it before. I have great faith in him and tremendous confidence in him. I know he knows what he's doing. He's worked under, some of the best of all times with, McVay and Coach Gruden. And so, we understand what Ole brings to the table, and we got to go out there and execute for him.
From a realistic standpoint, how much can you actually change at this point of the year?
You're not gonna, you try not to change too much. I mean, we've went through an entire off season of repping a lot of these plays and having the same terminology. So there's things that you want to keep the same, but there's also going to be differences as well. It's a different coordinator, so he's going to have a different style. But overall, like I said, man, it's still about execution no matter what play is called.
Communication-wise, in terms of somebody different talking to you, is there a feel-out process with that, and can you take care of that in practice this week, or does it have to be done Sunday?
Yeah, the repetition that we get this week is going to be vital. The more I can hear him calling the plays in my head, the more we can communicate, on the sideline, and it'll be different than what we've been doing because he's now going from quarterback coach to play caller. So there's going to be some different dynamics, but those are things we'll work through, and we'll, as time goes on, we'll get better at.
Could you describe the confidence level that you and his team still have in Pete Carroll and his vision for the organization, despite where the record stands right now?
Tremendous confidence in Coach Carroll. He hasn't changed not one bit, since he's gotten here. Coach Carroll is the same guy every single day. That's what you can appreciate about him, no matter what the situation is. It doesn't dictate his mood or his effort or just the juice and the energy he brings to the building. And so for us, man, we just got to, like I said, man, continue to believe in what he's preaching and continue to hold the rope, which you guys are doing. Guys are in the weight room working hard, in the classroom studying, working hard, and we're really trying to turn it around and get better as a team. And so Coach Carroll's doing the right thing, and we got to keep following him.
A couple of days ago, Pete Carroll was asked, how can these rookies get more on the field? And he said they have to earn it in practice. Obviously, you have two rookie receivers. You have a lot of rookie offensive linemen still trying to earn reps. In Ashton, what do you believe they can do to continue to build progress and get those reps?
Yeah, just continue to work hard, and eventually, it happens. There's not like a cookie cutter scheme to where each guy's got his own learning curve, and everyone's got to grow at their own pace. But like I said, when you got young players, you want to at least try to get them in there as fast as possible. And so the opportunities are coming up for those guys, and they've been working hard, and they're preparing themselves to go out there and execute, and they've gotten better throughout the season. So they just got to stay at it and keep doing what they're doing.
Well, this was a game like last week. How difficult is it to trust that when you drop back, you're going to have time? Like, you're going to be able to have time to do what you have to do? And, like, when you drop back, is there like, a thought of, like, I just have to get rid of the ball right now?
Yeah, I mean, you always have to feel the pressure. Obviously, know if you're hot or not, so that's understanding of protections and knowing who's blitzing and who's not. But you got to feel the pressure, and, I try my best to not look at the rush, but to feel the rush. But, when you're facing a great defensive line, similar to the Browns, you got to speed up the process. And so those are the things that I tried to do last week. Obviously, wasn't good enough.
What did the Chargers do to you in the first meeting, and what were you able to learn going forward to take that this week?
They did a good job at mixing coverages. They disguised some things. They had a good plan for us. It was different than what we had seen the week before, and they did a good job at it. They executed well. So looking forward to this matchup.
How does the dynamic change for you with Olsen being on the sideline, going to be calling the plays as opposed to being up in the booth?
Well, the play caller will now be, right next to me. So I think the communication, I won't have to get on the headset or, talk on the phone. I can just talk directly to him. And other things we'll have to figure out as it goes. I mean, it's the first time he's calling plays for us. So for me particularly, so I'll have to learn those things as we go.
Do you think it'll be beneficial for him to be there and be able to just communicate right away instead of getting on the headset like you mentioned?
Yeah, I think so. I think there'll be a lot of benefits, and I think, again, Ole's a guy who's done it, and I think he knows what to do and how to do it. So I expect great things.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
You've been watching Breaking News from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.